Hi everybody, it's Lisa from Lisa's Paper Passion, and this is going to be a tutorial on how to create a pincushion. Now, as you've seen some of my other videos, I kind of have tried different types of pincushions. This is one made from an Altoid mint box. This is one that was made for me by Jonna, and she said she used a cat food tin, which is why it's so sturdy. I mean, it's like sturdy. She covered it with paper. It's gorgeous. And then I made one out of using a little wooden, like a planter pot. And I thought I had one here. Oh, here it is. So it used to be one of these, and I made it a little pincushion. I mean, you could use all sorts of things. This is one that Gladys Moreno gave me from Heart of a Gypsy Soul, which is primarily why I'm doing this tutorial, because we're going to be having a really fun swap over there in the Heart of a Gypsy Soul group. And she used, I believe, it feels like styrofoam. You could probably hear that. But anyway, so you could use all sorts of things and decorate it with however you like. On this one that I made, I also used styrofoam. This was like one of my very first ones, which I use all the time. So anyway, so let's get going. Put all my pincushions back. This is a really pretty way to give a gift to somebody, or just to have them around if you like making pincushions. And it's not hard at all. And you could use whatever you like. But I was watching a video of, I forgot her name, but her channel is called A Little Shabby Chic. It's all one word, and I'll link to how what she made on her channel. But this is what inspired me. You're gonna need one of these guys or girls. It's just packaging from a ribbon, and I don't normally keep these. I threw it out. I got it from the 99-cent store for a costume I made for my son's class. And then I got this from the thrift store. She uses a balsa box. However, I wasn't near a place where I could buy one, so this was a little box. It's not wood. It's kind of like a maybe hard chipboard, but I mean it looks really ugly because I tore the ugly fabric off of it. Let me see if I have any saved in my trash. I mean it was hideous. It kind of would look like this. I don't know. I hope I don't offend anybody, but it was just kind of gross. But it was, I think 79 cents, and I figured I couldn't go wrong with it. And it kind of uses the same concept that she used, where you would need to a top and a bottom. And then you're going to need some gesso or white acrylic paint to cover all this gook up. You're going to need needle and thread. Makes me want to sing that Sound of Music song. Turn your glue gun on. And let's see, what else? I use a foam brush to color. And then you're going to need along the way, which is the fun part. Oh, sorry, important part. She used a piece of satin to cover her pincushion. So for this part, I happen to have some in my stash. I don't usually like to use satin, but I thought I'd try something new this time, only because it might be challenging gathering it all, but what the heck, let's go for it. And then you're going to need this stuff. And I bought a huge bag of it from Walmart. Here's the huge bag, sorry. It's called Polyfill. You can get different qualities. I got the Ultra Plush one. And I forgot how much it is, but you get a lot of it. Like, it says 12 ounces, but look, the bag is huge. You can't even fit it in the camera. So I'm going to grab a whole bunch of these because I don't even know how much I'm going to use. And I think that's it. So let's get started. So I have my glue gun on. What I'm going to do first is gesso this whole, we'll call it container, because I don't want to call it a box. A box I think of like, more like square. I got this gesso. I know there's a whole bunch of brands out there. I got this, let's see, Art Alternatives, and I really like it. I know there's really good kinds out there. This is from Joann's. I think it's their brand. I'm not sure. but it's pretty good consistency. I've tried the one at Michael's and I hated it. So I know hate is such a passionate word, but I did hate it. This one comes out much better. So I know you're not going to want to watch me gesso, but basically I'm going to just gesso everything. I really don't need to gesso the inside because it's going to be covered. We're going to put the pincushion little poof in there. So I'm going to gesso basically all the parts that are going to show. This is going to be like this. This is going to be like that. This is kind of our end project. And I know it looks really ugly right now, but we're going to make it pretty. So I'm going to put this video on pause. I'm going to be doing that a lot, only because you don't need to see me paint and do boring stuff. You want to see the fun stuff, right? See, I'm still peeling off some of the fabric on here, but I'm not really worried because the gesso is just a base, and I'm going to be covering all of this up with beautiful trims, so I'm not worried about like all the little pieces. But, okay, here we go. I'm going to put you on pause. Be back. Don't go away. Hi there, I'm back. As you can see that I've gessoed the lid of the box. I'm going to put that aside. This is the bottom of the box. And then I wanted to tell you something while I was painting this. It came to my mind. Things that sometimes happen when you're quietly working. There was a piece of tape on here. I don't know if you could see. But I'm not going to worry about it because we're going to be covering it up with trim, like I said earlier. So when I'm creating, I try not to worry about all the little stuff. I'm not a perfectionist. I like to, don't get me wrong, I like for my projects to come out really pretty and nice, but you have to enjoy yourself along the way and not stress out about stuff. Now, when you're cutting and doing precise measurements, then yes, I would definitely, take your time and cut right, because you don't want to be working, like I was working on a project yesterday and I didn't cut something right, and it was off by like 1/8 of an inch, and it made a huge difference on how the project would close. So stuff like that you want to, be careful on. Okay, so now I'm going to set this out to dry. I am going to do let's see. I don't really need to do the bottom because this is going to, I'm not going to do this bottom part. So you could just cover this top part. Actually, I didn't even need to do the top part, but oh well, I like painting. And for those of you who don't know what gesso is, I had no clue what it was, and I saw a lot of mixed media people using it a lot. And it's actually, I think it's chalk and glue. No, I'm sorry, chalk and paint, I think. Let me see. See, here I am talking about something and I don't even know what it is. I know that it has paint in it and chalk, and it kind of gives it like it says like I'm trying to rub this off, like a tooth. Yeah, no prior glue necessary, so I think it does have glue in it. Anyway, I like it, and it really sets the base when you're painting something like acrylic, and you want kind of like an even base to it. It's a really good medium to have. Like here I wanted to cover a lot of the junk that was on there, and I didn't really want to see like this part of the box because that's ugly, and I didn't want to cover it with paper. Sometimes you don't want to cover things with paper and then glue ribbon on it. Sometimes you just want, here, I'm sorry, I was painting out of camera. So anyway, I think that's pretty good. It's good enough. I'm going to let this gesso dry. I might use my heat gun. Close this real quick. And I know you don't want to see me using my heat gun, although it's fun and exciting for me. I don't like to hear it myself. So, actually, you know what I'm going to do? This is what happens when you record and kind of plan what you're going to do, but it ends up kind of something different. Okay, that one can stay there. Okay, those are going to just hang out and dry. I can always clean my desk off later. You want to clean this off right away, but I want to get to the next step so I can clean it later. That's kind of hard. Like once it dries on your brush, which I've learned, of course, by experience, it's kind of hard to wash off. So what we're going to do while that paint is hanging out and drying, while I move my chair around to get comfortable, we're going to get fuzzy. Hello! And we're going to make a ball. Well, sort of. what you want to do is we're going to make this part, this cushiony part. And what I said earlier is having not worked with satin before, it's kind of hard to gather. So, I mean, you can do however you like to do it, but that's why we need a needle and thread. It wasn't to make stitches. Okay, I'm thinking of Halloween. It's to kind of, sorry if this is kind of weird, to kind of make a ball like this, because we want to put this in here. I don't want to touch it because the stuff's still drying. So you kind of want to see how tall you want the cushiony to be, cushiony ball. If you want to add more fuzzy, I'll call it, to it, whatever you'd like to do. I kind of gather it up. See, this is why it's just so fun to do these, because you kind of make things up as you go along. And I gather it up like this, and you kind of picture it. I mean, I really don't care how the bottom's going to look, because the top is going to be the part where people see. Now, I'm not really happy with this size of material, so I'm going to cut a bigger piece from my stash over here. So, let's see where I got that from. Oh, here it is. Okay, here we go. Okay, here's my bigger piece. I'm going to back up this camera a little bit. I record on my tablet, and I love it because it uploads easily. But sometimes it's hard to kind of maneuver around it. So I have a bigger piece, and I'm going to cut it away from camera because I just don't have enough space. But I'm here. So let's see. I think this much is good. So before I go on, actually, I kind of want to give you an idea of the size of box I'm using. I think it's safe to pick up now. This is about a 4-inch across box. So this is the piece I cut. Let's see. I'm going to go measure. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So I was trying to make a circle, but it kind of turned out to be I don't know, like a rectangular oval. But that's better than this little piece that I had. So thanks for bearing with me and watching my tutorial. Okay, so yes, I think this is much better. It's a much better. Okay, I'm going to add a little bit more. See, you think this is a lot, but once you squeeze it and compact it, it really goes down. And you really want the fluffy look. Well, I like the fluffy look when I'm doing a pincushion. So I added a whole handful more. So now what I'm going to do, okay, so this is what amount I'm going to use. I'm going to put that aside. Now I'm going to take my needle and thread. And what my purpose in using this is I want to create kind of like a gathered pocket or bowl. I'm not sure which is the better term, to put my filling in there. So I'm just going to go around. Let's see, I'm going to pull this way. I think I'm going to go on the shiny side. I've never used satin before, like I said, and I kind of just do this on my own when I'm making one of these. I'm going to go on the shiny side of the fabric. So you see like the matte side and the shiny side, because that's the side I'm going to pull the gathering stitch from. I'm just going to kind of go around, just do some quick stitches, and I'm going to do this and be right back. Okay, I'm back, and see how it's kind of forming? Well, you know what? It kind of reminds me of like a hat you would wear, or what do you call those? Bath? Oh goodness, I can't think of the name. Those hats you would wear when you're taking a bath so your hair doesn't get wet. I got some gesso on my fabric. Oh well, I'm sure somebody will tell me in the comments section what those are called. But it kind of looks like that. And I was thinking while I was sewing this, as I think a lot, I should have made this piece more round, but that's okay. We'll see how it comes out. So I'm not doing any type of fancy stitch. Oops, and my thread just came out. I like to use, I got a bunch of this, I think it's called crochet thread. I got a bunch of it for a really good price at the thrift store, and I've been using it a lot. I think I'm going to end this section because I'm at my past my 15-minute mark while I thread my needle. Oh, that was quick. And I'll be back with part 2. Okay, thank you. See you in a few minutes.